Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to American Appetites.
Presented by the Santa Monica College Art History Department.
Curated by Gail Johnson, Rachel Dworkin, and Katie Shire.
America is a country known for its enormous appetites, and throughout history, our society has hungered for many things, from land and nature to technology and progress. The bounty of America seemed endless.
During westward expansion, Americans feasted on the banquet of the North American landscape, destroying it in the process.
As a result, a market emerged for nostalgic images of the once unspoiled natural terrain. Artists like Frederick Church capitalized on this by creating idealized images of pristine wilderness.
Audubon's book of bird prints also fed the American appetite for nostalgic images. Audubon killed hundreds of birds to create his book, reinforcing a pattern in American society of preserving nature through its destruction.
These types of nostalgic images were still popular later in American history. Paintings like After the Hunt were consumed by successful businessmen no longer connected to nature.
The wealthy upper class ravenously commissioned mass quantities of decorative arts and paintings to fill their new mansions. Whistler's Peacock Room is representative of the opulence which typified the Gilded Age.
No structure better exemplifies the decadence of the American aristocracy than the Biltmore home. This gluttonous nouveau riche construction, inspired by European palaces and castles, far outstripped its European counterparts in size and grandeur.
The same families that built mansions like the Biltmore home also consumed paintings from the European art market.
Mary Cassatt, as a wealthy expatriate and painter in her own right, was perfectly positioned to introduce American patrons to her fellow French Impressionists.
The nouveau riche of America relished any opportunity to elevate their social standing, and portraits were a popular tool in achieving this goal.
John Singer Sargent was the premier portraitist of his day. Everyone of importance jumped at the chance to have their portrait painted by him.
The Daughters of Edward Boit is representative of Sargent's style of portrait painting. He rendered the faces with precise detail, but the remainder of the work is done in a more painterly style, which breaks down into loose geometric forms upon closer inspection. Sargent portrays the four daughters as distinct individuals with strong personalities, while alluding to the ambiguous nature of sexuality in adolescence.
Sex and nudity have historically been touchy subjects in American art. Nudity was only grudgingly digested by American audiences in mythological, religious, or patriotic contexts.
Raphael Peale comments on this ridiculously prudish attitude in his painting Venus Rising from the Sea, A Deception. Inspired by a widely circulated print of a nude Venus, Peale's painting shows nothing more than an arm and a foot, yet is infused with more sexual charge than the nude figure that inspired it.
Closer ties with the European art world created a healthier appetite in America for sexual images. This trend reached a boiling point with Georgia O'Keeffe, whose exploded and abstracted images of flowers evoke parallels between the sensuality of animate and inanimate objects.
Male sexuality was also explored in American art, particularly by painters of the Ashcan school like Anschutz and Bellows. Anschutz's toothsome painting, The Ironworker's Noontime, glorifies the masculine form of day laborers. Their glistening white bodies exude a frank and confrontational sense of strength and sexuality.
The upper-class men who exploited these workers were themselves struggling to define their masculinity in a society where they no longer engaged in physical labor. Artists of the Ashcan school, like Anschutz, portrayed the gritty underbelly of mass production upon which the wealth of America was built.
America's hunger for technology and progress eventually led to the creation of structures like the Brooklyn Bridge.
The simple geometric forms of the bridge have their roots in the earliest forms of American decorative arts and inspired the abstract works of modern American artists.
The appetites which have shaped America's history are reflected in its art. Our thirst for technology, progress, and culture have positioned America as a leader on the world stage. As a nation, we hungered to prove ourselves, and that hunger was insatiable.
We hope you have enjoyed this presentation of American Appetites.
Bon appetit!